Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Faith Byrd, Director of Alumni Affairs here at Troy University. Faith, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you.
And we've got you here because it's football season here at Troy University, and we're here to talk about the second game of the season, which happens to be a big day. It's September 11th is that second day,
right?
But there's a lot of activity surrounding that game before and during the game because one, it's September 11th, and two, it's Military Appreciation Game, which is always a big deal here at Troy University. Obviously, as Chancellor Hawkins always says, we're a flag-waving university and we support the military. But let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about what all is going on. But before we get into the game activities, because there's a lot of that going on, talk about some of these pre-game activities that the community can get involved with and take part in.
Yes. So you mentioned it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and so we all remember, where we were that day and how it affected our United States and us personally. And so we wanted to remember that. So on Saturday mornings, beginning at 9 a.m. on the quad. Beautiful quad. The SGA is going to be in charge of reading all the names of the folks that lost their lives in 9/11. And so we are asking our faculty, our staff, our students, and anyone really in the community that would want to participate and read some of the names to get in touch with our SGA office, and they can set that up for you.
And of course, if they don't participate in that way, they can be there for the ceremony itself.
Absolutely.
That'll be there. And obviously an opportunity for them to get involved because they probably be on campus anyways. So this is a moment to take part and be a part of this remembering of those victims.
Right. And even if you don't want to stay the whole time all the names are read, which it will take a little while to read that many names, just to come by and hear some of those names and just remember those people that were all affected.
Because it's going to be on a lot of people's minds that day.
Right.
Anyway,
and then of course we'll honor our first responders at the game as well as our military.
And speaking of that, honoring first responders, there's another event happening simultaneously that's an interesting and athletic way to remember those first responders is taking place at Riddle Pace Field.
Right, because a lot of us are runners and exercise a lot, so they're going to be running the steps at Riddle Pace Field, 100 what would be equivalent to 110 flights, and that's where our first responders went up 110 flights in 9/11. So so get your running gear out if you're ready. That is, like you said, at the same time, 9 o'clock. So you could go from one ceremony to the other. It's just down the sidewalk from each other. So.
And I'm sure that if someone laced on their shoes and wanted to join in with I believe that's the ROTC is involved with that,
and
Air Force,
yes.
And then also some of our first responders here in town are going to be participating as well.
Correct,
So,
our firemen.
And so if anybody's there and they want to lace up and join in, I'm sure they wouldn't mind having some folks helping out there as well.
I'm sure they don't mind, because that's a lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs. But of course, people, it's right there next to Tailgate Terrace.
Right.
So if anybody's setting up and see that going on, be aware that that's what's happening in Riddle Pace. When they look across the field there from Tailgate Terrace, this is another ceremony that's taking place there on campus.
And another way to commemorate 9/11 and our first responders, and also any of our military.
And of course, the military, that goes into the Military Appreciation Game. Always a big deal here at the university. There's a lot of hoopla surrounding and ceremony surrounding that game.
Right.
Tell us a little about what folks can expect out of this year's Military Appreciation
Game. A lot of
Game.
pageantry. We'll have a flyover. Everybody needs to be in their seats at 5:30. Game starts at 6:05. So you'll see the flyover. You'll see a lot of our military out on the field. Of course, all of our armed service branches will be recognized at halftime with the Sound of the South playing their song, and then, like we've done in the past, they get to walk across the field and represent.
And they actually get to walk across the field this year. Last year they stood in the stands. This year they will actually be on the field and be recognized that way.
That's correct. And I think that means so much to them. And of course, the coin toss will be in commemorative of the 9/11 and our military, and a lot of things that day on the screen. We'll be recognizing like Benny Atkins, who is our Medal of Honor winner, and those kind of people that just really were special in the events of the world that happened, 9/11 and
and of course big moment during the game for Troy for Troops here as well, an organization here on campus that helps students that are former troops here on campus,
Right.
they're going to get an extra bonus during that
Extra
game.
bonus.
Right?
It's always wonderful. Mrs. Hawkins is our chairman of the Troy for Troops Committee. And so every year we write a grant, submit it to Lockheed Martin, a great partner of ours. And this year they're funding that scholarship another $10,000. So we'll have a check presentation that day as well.
An opportunity to not only remember past military, future military, all the military, current military, and then there'll be a special guest playing with the Sound of the South of the game, right?
Yes, the
okay.
Fort Benning Band
Yes.
will be there playing with the Sound of the South, so we're excited about that.
Military appreciation all around on September 11th, second game of the football season.
Right.
Here's looking forward to participation in all those events from folks out there. And I want to thank you for joining us today, letting us know about what's going on. Thank you. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.